Hey everyone, and welcome to the show. Have you ever imagined being stripped of everything? I mean, like your home, your family, even your freedom, and then thrown into a world where you have to spill blood to survive.
It's intense, right?
It really is. And that's the world we find the characters in House of Serpents and Slaves by Elizabeth Blackthorne.
Yeah, and this is a fantasy reverse harem romance, so if you're into exploring power and resilience and these unexpected bonds that can form, in the darkest of places, you got to hit that like button and subscribe for more.
Absolutely. And you can grab a copy on Amazon, links in the description below. So we're going to tease out some of the deeper meanings here without giving away any major spoilers.
Yeah, just a taste.
Just a taste. So what I found really striking about this book is how it throws you right into this world of conflict and oppression right from the start, even before this, central relationships start forming. You could just feel the danger in that constant fight for survival.
Yeah, you can just feel it in your bones right now.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's set the stage here. We're talking about a massive empire, right? And it's constantly at war with these dark-skinned raiders from the north called the Talfin.
Yeah.
And they're feared. They're known for their, well, they call it evil magic, in these horrific raids.
They really paint them in a bad light, right?
They do. They
Yeah.
do. And we see this whole conflict unfold through the eyes of Livia,
Yeah.
who's living in this kind of border village, like a place you never thought would be attacked
No way, right?
until it is. And the way the author describes it is so vivid. Like suddenly there's this, you hear this sound of fighting getting closer and closer.
Right, like right there with her.
And her brother Taurus is like pulling her behind a wall, and he's armed with a wooden blade.
Yeah.
A wooden blade.
Yeah.
Against these soldiers.
A wooden blade.
And he's telling her to run, and
Yeah.
he's urging Septimus to take her and run. And this whole scene is just like you can feel Taurus's bravery and love for his sister.
He's just trying to protect her, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it also highlights the brutality of this world because even courage doesn't always guarantee survival.
And that's the harsh reality.
It is. He manages to strike one blow, but ultimately he doesn't make it. And Livia's captured.
Yeah, it's a real punch in the gut, right?
Totally.
You think he might just make it, and then he doesn't.
Yeah, you're rooting for him, and then she's captured, and her screams are silenced, and then there's this chilling conversation among the soldiers about selling her and Septimus as slaves.
It's just business to them.
Right.
Just like another day.
Just another day.
Yeah.
So from a peaceful village life, she's suddenly thrust into this world of captivity. And the way the author describes the village after the attack, it's just heart-wrenching. The festival preparations, the empty streets, you can feel the weight of her loss.
Everything's gone.
Everything's gone. Her entire world has been shattered.
Right. It makes you think how you would react in that kind of situation.
It really does. But even in that despair, we see a spark of defiance in Livia.
Yeah, like this refusal to break completely right.
Right.
Like she's not going to give her captors the satisfaction of seeing her completely crumble.
There's this inner strength that hints at her resilience.
Definitely.
And then the mention of the slave markets, the possibility of ending up in the arena or a brothel, it just casts this dark shadow over her future.
Like she's just completely at the mercy of these captors, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the arena becomes her new reality, right? This brutal world of gladiatorial combat. And what's interesting is that even in this enslaved community, there's this social hierarchy.
So even among slaves, there's levels.
Yeah, gladiators, because they generate income, they're seen as having higher status than other slaves.
Wow. So it's all about profit even in this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And this sets the stage for Livia's ambitions.
Okay.
Because she meets Antonius, this respected, skilled gladiator.
Yeah.
He's got dark skin and these piercing eyes. And he's clearly admired, by everyone. And it's mentioned that gladiatorial combat in these smaller towns is it's rarely to the death. It's often against animals, enraged animals. So that kind of explains why he's been able to survive for so long, right?
Makes sense. So he represents a path to survival.
Yeah. And Livia, she sees him, she admires him, and she wants to be a gladiator.
She wants that power.
Yeah, she wants that power. But here's the thing. Even as she's admiring him, she's also assessing his fighting style.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's like, okay, it's good, but it's predictable, know?
She thinks she can do better.
Yeah, even in this situation, she's analyzing, she's learning, and maybe even thinking about how to surpass him.
Wow, that's impressive.
Right.
So she's definitely not just a damsel in distress.
No, not at all. But then we meet Drusus.
Oh, yeah, the owner of the arena.
Yeah, and he's not a nice guy.
I got that impression, yeah?
He's all about control and exploitation.
Yeah.
And Livia tries to show him her sword skills.
Okay.
And he just laughs at her. Yeah. He's dismissive, and then he sexually abuses her.
Oh, that's awful.
It's really tough to read. It just shows the absolute power he has over these slaves and how vulnerable they are.
So any power she could gain would be, a step away from that.
Exactly. So her ambition to become a gladiator, it's not just about fighting. It's about survival and agency.
Thanks. Makes sense. And we also meet these other female gladiators who are described as being tall and strong slaves from the West.
Yeah.
Which contrasts with Livia's physique.
Yeah, she's not built like them.
Right.
So it suggests that his journey is going to be even tougher.
Right. She has more obstacles to overcome.
Yeah, for sure.
But thankfully, she finds a friend in Octavia, another imperial slave.
Right, they call her Tavi.
Tavi again.
Yeah. And their bond is so important in this brutal environment.
Yeah, like a little bit of humanity in this darkness.
Right. And then we get this amazing description of the pre-fight atmosphere, this energy in the arena, this like electric hum before violence erupts.
So you can just feel the tension.
Yeah. And then these opposing gladiators are introduced. They're called the Killers of Hikma.
Okay.
And they wear black leathers and skull face paint.
That's intimidating.
Right, they're supposed to be. And their leader is huge, like
Yeah.
maybe even as tall as Antonius.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so the stakes are getting higher. Now let's talk about Marcus.
Okay.
He seems to be a key figure among the gladiators.
Yeah.
Like, he commands respect and has this sense of responsibility.
Yeah, he's definitely a leader. He's described as being tall and muscular with scarred skin, but it's his actions that really define him.
Okay, what kind of actions?
Well, he pays for a healer for the gladiators who have a fever.
Oh, wow. So he's looking out for them.
Yeah, he cares about their well-being, and in battle, he's the one rallying the men even when it seems hopeless.
Okay.
And there's this really powerful moment where he carries the body of a fallen gladiator and us to the pyre.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just shows the emotional toll of this life,
Yeah. So he's not just some heartless warrior.
No, not at all.
He's got this depth to him.
Definitely. And then he has this conversation with Antonius about how hard it is to see death in the arena all the time. And it kind of hints that they've both been through a lot as war captives.
Oh, so that's where that shared understanding comes from.
Yeah, exactly. And then we learned about Marcus's past.
Okay.
He wasn't always a slave. He was actually a war captive from the northern kingdoms.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he's disillusioned with the empire that he once served.
Okay, so he's seen both sides.
Yeah, and it's really shaped his view of the world.
Right.
He even mentions that he disobeyed orders during a battle, and that's what led to his captivity.
He's a rebel at heart.
Yeah, he's got that streak in him. And even though he's stuck in the arena, he still dreams of a different life.
Like what kind of life?
A peaceful life on a farm with a family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a dangerous dream to have in that environment.
Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
But it also shows his humanity.
Exactly. And he goes to the temple to pray. He's asking for strength and guidance.
So there's this spiritual side to him as well.
Yeah, definitely. But he hides it all behind this stoic facade.
Oh, so he's got layers.
He does. And the way the gladiators cope with all the death and loss around them is through, feasting, drinking, sex.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like their way of dealing with the trauma. And Livia observes all of this.
She's taking it all in.
Yeah. And she starts to develop this attraction to Marcus.
Okay.
She watches his movements, and she's surprised by her own thoughts. Like, she thinks intimacy with him could actually be enjoyable.
So there's a definite shift in her perspective.
Yeah, and she makes a move. She brings him wine after a battle, and they talk about joining the celebrations.
Okay.
But Marcus resists her advances.
He does.
Yeah, he thinks she's too young and not ready for the gladiator life.
Oh, so he's trying to protect her in his own way?
Yeah, I think so. And it's interesting that he already knows her name.
Oh, so he's been paying attention to her.
Yeah, even though he tries to push her away.
It's complicated.
It is. But Livia is determined to fight. She knows the dangers, but she's not backing down. And we see this determination when she starts training alone in the arena at night.
She's really driven.
Yeah, she's fueled by anger and a desire for revenge. And Septimus is still there,
Yeah, he's always lurking around.
Yeah, and they have this antagonistic relationship. He watches her train, and they spar sometimes.
Okay.
And the tension between them is palpable.
I bet.
They goad each other on, and Livia just keeps getting better. And we learn that Septimus is also a slave, bought by Drusus.
Okay.
And his loyalty to Taurus is what makes him protective of Livia.
So it's like he made a promise to her brother.
Yeah, exactly. But their relationship is so complicated.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, and Livia gets frustrated because she's not progressing as fast as she wants to.
Okay.
And she's willing to do whatever it takes to get into the arena. She even considers starting a fight.
Oh, wow, she's desperate.
Yeah, she's getting more and more reckless.
So what happens next?
Well, Drusus acquires new slaves.
Okay.
And one of them is a Tulfin.
Oh, that's going to cause some problems.
Yeah. You know, the Tulfin are feared and hated in the Empire. And this Tulfin slave, he's defiant.
Oh.
He shouts that he was taken against his mother's will.
Oh, wow.
And Drusus responds with cruelty, of course.
Of course.
But Marcus seems uncomfortable with how Drusus is treating him.
Oh, so maybe he doesn't share the same prejudices.
Yeah, maybe his experiences as a captive have given him a different perspective.
That would make sense.
Yeah. And then something really crazy happens.
What is it?
A captured dragon is brought to the Ludus.
A dragon?
Yeah, a dragon.
Oh, wow.
And Livia and Marcus, they sneak off to see it.
They do?
Yeah, they have to be really careful because they don't want to be caught by the guard Brutus.
I bet. So what's a dragon like?
It's described as being awe-inspiring, but also incredibly dangerous.
Like a force of nature.
Exactly. And Drusus, being Drusus, he plans to use the dragon for the festival of Sol and Aeolus.
Oh, no!
Yeah, and it's implied that the gladiators will have to fight it. So Marcus takes Livia to see the dragon to try and scare her straight, you know?
To make her realize how dangerous being a gladiator really is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it has the opposite effect.
Really?
Yeah, seeing the dragon just makes her even more determined to become a gladiator.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Septimus.
Okay.
His feelings for Livia seem to be eating him alive.
Yeah, he's definitely struggling. He watches Marcus and Livia together, and he's jealous.
Okay.
And after Livia gets battered in training with Cato, Septimus says some really harsh things to her.
Oh, wow.
But I think he's just trying to hide his concern.
Okay.
He's attracted to her, but he also feels loyal to Taurus.
Right. Like she's his little sister.
Yeah, exactly. But then when she gets injured in a fight, Septimus is the one who rescues her and carries her to the medicus.
Oh, so he does care.
He does. But afterwards, he acts cold and distant again.
So he's pushing her away.
Yeah. And Livia is confused and hurt by his behavior.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Livia starts secretly tending to Tarshi's wounds.
Oh, wow. The Talfin slave.
Yeah. He's suffering and he's being treated terribly. And Livia, she sees the injustice of it all.
She's got a good heart?
Yeah. And she tries to connect with him, you know? They've both experienced loss and violence.
They understand each other.
Yeah. And their connection, it grows into something more intimate.
Okay.
They find comfort and understanding in each other.
So it's a relationship born out of shared pain.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a direct challenge to the prejudice against the Telfin.
Like a powerful statement.
Yeah. And then Marcus starts to see Livia in a new light.
Okay.
He recognizes her determination, and he offers to train her properly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But Drusus is possessive of Livia, and he tries to manipulate Marcus.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's a real piece of work. But despite Drusus's interference, a romantic connection starts to develop between Marcus and Livia.
They can't deny their feelings.
No. They share these moments of intimacy and whisper promises of a future together.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. But Marcus knows how dangerous their situation is. He wants to protect Livia, but he also knows they might not have a future.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. And Livia, she appreciates Marcus, but she's also fiercely independent.
Right.
She still wants vengeance.
Okay.
So the tension is building as the festival approaches.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, the atmosphere is heavy with anticipation and dread.
Okay.
Livia's training continues, and her bonds with Marcus and Tarshi deepen.
Okay.
But the prejudice against Tarshi is getting worse.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Cato and Maro, they're particularly nasty to him.
It's awful.
Yeah. And Tarshi, he tries to restrain himself, but Livia, she defends him.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's not going to stand by and watch him be mistreated.
She's brave.
She is. And it's all tied into the Empire's propaganda against the Talfin and half-breeds.
So it's a deeply ingrained prejudice.
Yeah. And then during this chaotic arena battle with a mirage cat, Rena, one of the gladiators who trained Livia, is killed.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And Livia is devastated. She attacks the cat, recklessly ignoring the danger.
Oh, she's not thinking straight.
No, she's consumed by grief and rage. And Marcus and Tarshi, they try to protect her,
Okay.
but she gets knocked unconscious.
So she's vulnerable again.
Yeah. And in the aftermath of the battle, Marcus is immediately worried about Livia.
Of course.
Yeah, he's so protective of her. And Tarshi, he stands guard over her unconscious body.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he actually cooperates with Marcus, which is unusual for him.
Yeah.
But the prejudice against Tarshi doesn't go away. Septimus, Cato, and Maros, they still see him as the enemy.
They can't see past their hatred.
Yeah. And Tarshi, he's struggling with his own identity.
Right.
He's constantly being reminded that he's a Tolfin. And Livia, she starts having nightmares about the beast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like she's haunted by the violence she's witnessed.
It's taking a toll on her.
Definitely. And Septimus, he's still avoiding Livia.
Okay.
He's cold and distant, and he almost lashes out at her violently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's so conflicted. But we get hints that they had a deeper connection in the past. They used to spar together, and there was a sense of respect between them.
So maybe there's still hope for them.
Maybe. But for now, Septimus is consumed by jealousy.
Okay.
He can't stand seeing Marcus with Livia.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. And while all this is going on, Livia is secretly communicating with the dragon.
She is.
Yeah, she's been visiting it in its cage.
Oh, wow.
And she's come up with a plan to free it during the festival finale.
What?
Yeah, she wants to use the chaos as a diversion to escape.
Oh, that's a risky plan.
It is. And she's conflicted because it means leaving Marcus and Tarshi behind.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she wants freedom and vengeance, but she also cares about them.
That's a tough choice.
Yeah, and as the festival gets closer, the atmosphere becomes even more ominous.
Okay.
There are strange occurrences, and Marcus senses that something bad is going to happen.
He's got a bad feeling.
Yeah, and Septimus is becoming more and more isolated.
Oh, no.
Like something's really wrong with him.
I bet this doesn't end well.
And then the festival games begin.
Oh.
The stakes are incredibly high, and there are imperial soldiers everywhere.
Wow, so the pressure's on.
Yeah. And during a battle, Septimus breaks formation and starts acting erratically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's totally lost it. And Livia's worried about him.
Even though he's been terrible to her.
Yeah, she still cares. And then all hell breaks loose.
What happened?
The dragon is unleashed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, during the final game.
And it was Livia.
Yeah, she freed it.
Wow.
The crowd panics and the dragon starts destroying everything.
Oh, my God.
It's chaos. And Marcus, he tries to understand why Livia did it,
Okay.
but he realizes that they want different things.
Okay.
She's driven by revenge and he wants peace.
Oh, wow.
And she confirms it. She tells him that she wants vengeance.
She's not backing down.
You know. And then the gladiators and slaves, they start attacking their oppressors.
It's rebelling.
Yeah, they're finally fighting back. And Marcus, he confronts Drusus.
Oh, wow.
He rejects his authority, and Drusus, he tries to escape.
What happens?
Well, the city is burning, the arena is collapsing, and Marcus Keller, he makes one final act of defiance against Drusus.
Wow, so it ends in complete chaos.
Yeah, the old order is crumbling and a new one is rising from the ashes.
Wow. House of Serpents and Slaves is a wild ride.
It is.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
That's right.
What did you guys think? What was your favorite moment? Which character intrigued you the most? Let us know in the comments below.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And if you're ready to dive into this world yourself, you can find the link to the book on Amazon in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite books.
Yeah, join us next time.
And until then, keep reading and keep thinking.
What do you think is the true cost of freedom? And how far would you go to achieve it?
Those are some great questions to ponder.
See y'all next time.